there have me freaked the heck out right now because I am out in Moab, Utah alone, well, with my wife, and an 18-year-old Land Rover. And if you read the comments, I might as well just jump off a cliff. Because according to you guys, that is the dumbest thing a person can do, is A, drive a Land Rover, and B, drive a Land Rover without a tow truck following you. But in this video, hopefully, I can prove to you that these older Land Rovers do have some merit, and prove to myself that you guys are wrong, because I know you're wrong. I believe it in my heart. I just have to, well, I have to believe it in my head as well. So let me introduce you to the subject of today's video. This is my 2006 Land Rover LR3. If you're watching abroad, this is a Discovery 3, but they called it the LR3 in the US because the Discovery 2 was so unreliable, they felt they had to distance themselves from the Discovery name. But this is genuinely one of my favorite, if not my favorite SUV ever made. That's how much I like this thing. And yes, it is still running 9,000 miles after I bought it. Let me tell you the full story. Now, if you listen to the internet, people will tell you, well, these airbags need to be changed every 95 minutes in the air suspension. However, these airbags on this Land Rover are date coded to when this vehicle was brand new. That's right, they're over 18 years old. They still go up and down like they should. They still give me enough clearance to climb this pretty gnarly little ledge. Now I am aired down to about 20 PSI. Look at that. The traction control in this vehicle is, even by modern standards, I think genuinely one of the best in the business. It works so incredibly well. The real shame about this whole situation is, look, I'm out here in Moab, Utah with Morgan. My wife, on Memorial Day weekend, and this is like high season for Utah. There's just tons and tons and tons of four-wheel drive and off-roaders out here, and we've seen everything from hundreds of Jeeps to probably literally thousands of Tacomas. All I see out here is Tacomas these days, and 4Runners are just everywhere, and like Broncos are endless, and Rivian, well, we've seen like 4 Rivians. I've seen exactly 2 Land Rovers. One old Defender and one new Defender. And it's like, Land Rover has just completely walked away from that kind of concept of being incredibly rugged and durable and go anywhere. And they focused, in my opinion, nowadays, far too much on the luxury side of things. And there's such a big market for what we're doing right here. They would do so well if they sold a slightly more affordable Defender or a slightly smaller Defender with actual capability. Not that the new one doesn't, it is very capable, but it was so expensive, and brought it to the off-road crowd. People would love it. So I bought this Land Rover back in September of last year, and we bought it from a really sketchy auction in Denver. No service records. It was not how you want to buy a used car, and it was $4,567 after auction fees. And you're probably thinking, well, it's broken down probably 37, 38 times. You know, I've driven it 9,000 miles, maybe 40 times. No! Believe it or not, this thing has been rock solid. I know, go take to Reddit, tell people how upset you are. And this has not been an easy 9,000 miles I've put on this vehicle. Bought it at 68,000, currently at 77,000 miles. This thing's been off-road a bunch. It's been used as a camera support vehicle. It's hauled furniture, it's hauled dogs, it's hauled cats. All I've done in this vehicle is, granted, a fairly major service on it. Both diffs, engine oil, and the transmission oil have been gone through. It's got a 1-inch lift, which is done via a dongle because this has height adjustable air suspension, and basically you just tell the car, actually your normal height is 1 inch higher than you thought, and it just stays there. And then it also has a set of slightly oversized BFG KO2 tires, 265/65 R18, and then rock rails and the winch. So all in all, I'm in at like $8,000, which, you know, is more than $4,000. So I cannot see anything here. Let me get up the hill. It's more than $4,000, but still, for the amount of comfort, luxury, capability, and daily drivability that you get for $8,000, it's unmatched. I mean, a first-gen Lexus GX is going to be, I don't know, $15,000 now, and to be honest with you, this is where all the hate's going to start coming. I don't think it's nearly as good. I know. You can really start commenting now that I said that. But I just think that the level of refinement and capability that the LR3 offers is unparalleled. Let's start with the ride quality. You know, if you have a bad back, if you just can't be bothered with being bounced around, get an 18-year-old Land Rover LR3, because the off-road ride quality, especially when you air down tires like I've done here to about 20 PSI, is unrivaled, period. Don't care what you're driving. A Land Rover with worn out air struts is unlike anything else, especially when you air it down. A new Defender can't match this ride quality. It is so soft and supple. It's also cross-linked, and what that means is even though we have independent suspension, when one wheel rises, it forces the other down to mimic a solid axle, which means the articulation is really good. The head bob is very minimal. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And even with this 1-inch lift, you still have the full range of height adjustability from your off-road height, your extract height, even down to your entry height. Everything just works like it's supposed to. These vehicles in particular, there's 4 model years of Land Rover I tell people to buy. Listen up here, 4. 06, 07, 08, and 09 LR3s are the best, in my opinion, Land Rovers they've ever made. And I know like the cool old Defenders are very neat. Sorry, I'm just gonna hang from my seatbelt here for a sec as we go down a 45-degree angle. But this vehicle perfectly fits so many needs and lifestyles. I use it as my daily driver. Every single day I'm driving this vehicle. We're out here in Moab. It's performing great. It's classy enough to show up to a fancy event in. It's, you know, durable and kind of utilitarian enough to bring it to King's or Home Depot. It just works so well. Now, beyond the air suspension, let's talk about the next magic thing, and that is the terrain response. LR3 was the first vehicle sold to offer different terrain modes where you could dial in a setting for rock, sand, mud, that kind of thing. And just about every new SUV has a variant of this. And usually, it does nothing at all except inspire some confidence because it gives you a little tree on the dashboard. This system completely transforms the character of the vehicle. Not only the height and the transfer case position, but also throttle control, but more importantly, traction control programming. So if you do lift a wheel in rock mode, it's going to clamp down hard on those brakes to force torque to the wheel on the ground and pull you out of it. Whereas if you lose traction in sand mode, it's just going to let you spin and spin and spin so you can maintain that wheel speed to get out of where you need to go. It works incredibly well. Right now I'm in rock mode, even with the suspension up, still soft. You hear the traction control intervening a lot because I've got the hill descent on. It's controlling our speed. It is speed adjustable. Look, I mean, this is technology that, you know, manufacturers are still marketing today, and this thing had it back in 2005 when it launched. Really, really cool. Now that brings us to the powertrain. So there are 2 engine options available in the USA. The one that almost every single one has is a 4.4 liter AJ V8. I wish I could say that one was super unreliable like the Discovery 2, but no, that one can often be seen with 220, 230, 240,000 miles, no problems. They just keep trucking. Now this LR3, this is kind of a rare bird because it has a 4-liter naturally aspirated V6 straight out of the Explorer actually. That is not the great engine compared to the 4.4, mostly down to power. 217 horsepower, which is not enough to motivate 5,500 pounds of SUV if you want to do any towing or major hill climbing. I'm being a little dramatic. It will hold 80 everywhere. It just takes its British time to get to 80. So definitely get the 4.4 liter. There's also a bunch of cool options you get in these vehicles. Like you can get a screen here where you can see your different terrain modes and different terrain settings. That is awesome. This one has a cubby. This one doesn't have heated seats or automatic headlights or any of that cool fancy stuff because this is a total bean can. So you can spec those options like a lot of folks do and have. Kind of a cool little descent here. Make sure we're being smart about this so we don't end up upside down. That would not help prove my point that these are not as bad as people say they are. So we're going to take it at a slightly different angle. There we go. Morgan will be very grumpy with me if we end up in the hospital. Isn't that right, Morgan?
Yeah, a little.
On our mini honeymoon. If you could see her face right now. Shocking. But no one died, which is what counts. No, I mean, the level of comfort and refinement and comfort features you can get in here, like, dual sunroofs, which is cool, but honestly, I like the base model because it's just less to go wrong. Because, look, it is still Land Rover. There are things that go wrong. Usually, it's the electronic side of things. The thing about LR3s is the powertrain will very rarely let you down. The engine, transmission, ZF 6-speed transmission, they'll usually get you home. It's all the stupid little niggly crap that'll just drive you crazy. It's the, can I take the camera? There's some kind of recovery going on here. I don't know really what happened there, but ooh, looks like someone rolled it, Morgan. That's bad news. No, it's okay. The people, they were okay. I just saw them come out on that other one. Okay. So no one's injured, but it looks like maybe there was an accident down there. Yeah, it's just the stupid stuff that goes wrong that'll just drive you crazy, like the heated seats and sunroofs leaking and that kind of stuff. So honestly, in my opinion, the less of that stuff you can get, the better. Well, would you look at that? We did the Hell's Revenge Trail and we didn't get stranded even once. Yeah, we're not fully off, but seriously, folks, I definitely think that it's worth giving these LR3s a shot. Are they going to be Toyota reliable? Absolutely not. But the capability of these things out on the trail is just nearly unmatched in this category. They're so much fun, and they're still really affordable. Plus, pretty big aftermarket community as well. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Here's thinking of Morgan. Morgan, did you have fun?
Yeah.
She said, yeah. We'll see you guys in the next video.